Good day and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I'm your host, the voice of reason. So, in today's Horn of Africa update, I wanted to look at the ongoing situation inside of Ethiopia, specifically, really kind of around the entire region uh, of Ethiopia, near Sudan, and Oromia as well. But first, let's start inside of the Tigray region. Fighting continues on multiple fronts throughout central, eastern, and to a lesser extent, western Tigray. The This conflict now is approaching the 6 month mark. So there has been active combat operations going on now for 6 months. Many of these operations are of high intensity, and it is an immense strain on both the Ethiopian military and the Eritrean military as well. And these forces, these governments, meaning the Ethiopian government and the Eritrean government, are starting to get desperate. And in order to defeat the Tigray region and bring it underfoot, it would appear that the use of blockading of food and starvation is now one of the main tactics being employed by the Ethiopian Eritrean army. And I'm going to probably have to identify these two states as one singular state now, as it is really a strange dichotomy in terms of just what is occurring between Ethiopia and Eritrea and this this really strange alliance that has taken place. But again, we continue to get video footage in from the region, and I had the opportunity to see one video recently, and I don't know what is going through the mind of the Ethiopian General Staff. Are they releasing prisoners and then giving prisoners criminals Ethiopian army uniforms and just informing them that there is no rule of law and they can proceed to the Tigray region and basically do what they wish in terms of raping, pillaging, and thievery. And the most recent video that I have observed would definitely appear to be that is the case. This video showed two Ethiopian soldiers in a residence or in a shop, just taking stuff and laughing about it. And this isn't an isolated case. There are many, 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 many video clips showing this. And they're in a standard Ethiopian battle dress uniform with identification information on their uniform, showing exactly what they're doing because they're they're taping it themselves. But I think it kind of shows you just the complete lack of professionalism, and then you have to ask, is that the tactic right now? Is it just to go in and completely take everything within the Tigray region and basically starve them into submission? And I think that has to be reasonably asked now. We've seen numerous aid agencies, governmental agencies, non-governmental agencies, and they're all on the same on the same paragraph in terms of what is happening and how it is happening in terms of the use of starvation, the use of rape, and the use of extrajudicial killings that are taking place inside the Tigray region. And unfortunately, if there is ever a desire to end this, that methodology is just going to continue to harden the population and we will continue to see the Tigray region rebel and fight for its very existence, because it really doesn't have a choice in the matter. It has been forced upon them. Again, the Tigray region did not attack Ethiopia proper. It did not attack the Amhara region. It did not engage in any kind of terrorist activity against Addis Ababa or anything of the sort. So again, the status quo continues, fighting continues, and we will continue to monitor the situation, especially inside of the Tigray region. But with that being said, there's also fighting in other areas, such as the Oromia region. Fighting continues there on a rather significant and widespread scale across the Oromo zone, as it's called. Furthermore, the areas around the Sudanese border, ranging from the Grand Renaissance Dam and all the way further north to the tri-border state area of the Tigray region of Eritrea and Sudan, continues to see fighting going on inside of this region as well. But more specifically, I think we're starting to see Egyptian intelligence services, Sudanese intelligence services, but I would say the primary backing is probably coming from the Egyptians, and I would not be surprised if we are seeing certain Egyptian assets coming into play in areas in the environments around the Grand Renaissance Dam. We continue to hear about armed groups clashing with Amhara armed groups and other groups fighting governmental security units, both official and unofficial paramilitary forces that are taking place. And some of this fighting is actually fairly significant as well. It's fairly intense, and you would have to ask, are some of these fighting units that are specifically fighting in the Blue Nile region around the Grand Renaissance Dam, could these be trained in other countries and are being used in a direct action role to kind of soften up the region of the in the region around the Grand Renaissance Dam? And I think that's a reasonable question to ask. Again, the fighting is intense, and we at times don't really know who these folks are. And that would lead the question, well, could they be extra state actors coming in to operate because of the ongoing political situation between Sudan, Egypt, and Ethiopia? But it is a dire situation for Ethiopia. I think if you are inside of the capital, Addis Ababa, I think you possibly are having a different view on life. Things are obviously more secure there, and it almost has a city-state feel, where the peoples living in the federal district here have a completely different life than the people living in the rest of Ethiopia. I think the security situation in Addis Ababa obviously is completely different than the security situation in much of the rest of the country. And in much of the rest of the country, it is incredibly dire. We can say that there is a multi-front civil war occurring inside of Ethiopia, and it is probably only going to get worse. Have a good day, everybody.